Iron Man 2. We've reached the end of my Iron Man handheld game series, and boy, what a way to go out with a bang. Or a blast. A repulsor blast.
Zip it!
It feels like I'm alone with this one, but I really like this game. It may be in fact be my favorite Iron Man game. Like, there's much of a competition. So let's armor up and get to it. Why Iron Man 2 on the Nintendo DS is my favorite Iron Man game. Starting off with the visuals, I gotta say, for low poly graphics on the DS, the game has a charming look to it. It's easy to write off as ugly and outdated, but the bright colors and smooth animations make it work really well. The game is a 2.5D side-scrolling beat-em-up slash shooter, and it features two playable characters, Iron Man, duh, and War Machine, and they both play dramatically different. Starting off with the titular character, Iron Man plays more as a jack of all trades, having a vast array of projectiles and melee attacks that can be upgraded by spending the points you gather at the end of every level. This Iron Man game has the most extensive list of varied moves and abilities by far compared to the previous games I reviewed on this channel. I was so happy to finally see Iron Man have melee attacks this time around, and they are badass. The loud clank your robot foes make when your fists make contact is super satisfying. You can pull off some pretty sweet combos by juggling your enemies and mixing things up with projectiles and energy pulses. You can also have 3 different special moves you can perform depending on how much of your energy meter you want to use up, starting with a missile barrage attack, the classic Unibeam, and an EMP attack that wipes out every enemy in the vicinity. Very similar to that one move from the Invincible Iron Man on the GBA. One of my favorite aspects of this game is Iron Man's flight controls. These have to be some of the best flight controls I've experienced in a video game, in a 2D handheld game nonetheless. They're just so fluid. The speed, maneuverability, you're in total control. These things combined lead to some really cool moments like dodging missiles right at the last second or circling around an enemy to counter their attack. I really want these satisfying flight mechanics translated into a 3D game. There's another type of flight section in this game that play more like an old school arcade game, like Galaga.
That man is playing Galaga. Thought we wouldn't notice, but we did.
Huh? Oh no! This is actually Iron Man 2 on the DS. Big fan! Fucking bombs. I didn't really find myself caring much for these sections, but I guess they're a good way of breaking up the pace and offering some gameplay variety. Either way, they don't go on for too long, lasting around 3 or 4 minutes.
War Machine coming at you, right up.
Putting the 2 in Iron Man 2 is James Rhodes as War Machine. Get it? Cause he's here too?
Okay, what?
Anyway, most levels can be played with either Iron Man or War Machine, and War Machine plays completely different from Iron Man. Perfectly encapsulating his title, War Machine is a walking tank. He's a lot slower than Iron Man, with his flight ability being slowed down to more of a hover. Equipped with bullets, grenades, and missiles, War Machine is locked and loaded with serious firepower. The twist is that while Iron Man's attacks are performed by traditional face button controls, War Machines are exclusive to the touchpad. Now before you run away in disgust, what if I told you that they're kind of awesome? With some minor setbacks, but bear with me. War Machine's Gatling gun is used by simply pointing to where you want to shoot, and you can drag your stylus around to change your targets. Just keep an eye on your meter and be mindful that your gun doesn't overheat. By tapping in a direction, you'll launch a grenade, and if you hold the L or R button while moving the cursor over an enemy, you'll lock on for a missile attack. All of these touch controls are fun, accurate, and intuitive. There were some awesome moments where I found myself surrounded by explosives homing in on me, and I quickly drew circles on the touchpad and took out every one of them with my Gatling gun. It was really satisfying. Now one of the setbacks is that War Machine has a block ability mapped to one of the face buttons, which means you'll have to awkwardly reach over in time before your enemy hits you. I rarely ever got it in time, so I ended up ignoring the block button entirely. The other is that if you're playing this game on a 3DS, Holding it with one hand can give you some serious cramps. This could just be me being a weak ass bitch, but I thought I'd throw it out there just in case. Enemies are varied enough to make use of all of your abilities. Some are easily taken out with projectile attacks, while others are more susceptible to melee attacks. Difficulty is something that remained consistent for the most part. There were a couple of boss fights that were ruined due to my opponent being stun locked, which is a shame, because these boss fights have the potential to be great. Iron Man 2 is not all about blowing up stuff with your cool weapons. The game will give you objectives to spice things up, like protect the generator by blowing up robots, or blow up the generator. Okay, so you're always pretty much just blowing up stuff, but regardless, I never got bored, which is a testament to the game's satisfying combat, and the game has replayability, with levels offering branching paths to different objectives. The revive feature is really creative. When your health bar is depleted, the touchscreen will display your suit's arc reactor, and you have to properly align the pins to the center of the arc reactor before time runs out, because if not, you'll be deader than Tony Stark at the end of the Avengers Endgame. #spoilers. In between missions, you can roam around Tony's pad, where you can look at all the collectibles you discovered, like comic book covers and concept art, upgrade your armor, partake in combat challenges, and oh my god, it finally happened. Iron Man 2 is the best Iron Man game. So that concludes my Iron Man handheld game series. Let me know what your favorite Iron Man game is, handheld or not. Before I go, I want to let you guys know about something really cool, and that's the comic book video game subreddit, created by my good friend Josh over at Panels to Pixels. This is a place where fans of comic book video games can get together and share our love for this wonderful niche. So if you enjoy my videos, make sure to head on over to the comic book video game subreddit, where you'll find other fantastic creators. I'm really excited about this. There are great things happening this year, and I can't wait to share them all with you. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.